an iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not three separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone. Is our new software, the iPhone 2.0 platform.
Let's talk about what's next, and that is iPhone OS 3.0.
iPhone OS 4, the most advanced mobile operating system in the world.
Let's talk about the future of iOS, and that is iOS 5. I'm very happy to announce iOS 6.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Paul here, and I'm going to be talking about the evolution of iOS. So sit back and relax and enjoy.
We are calling it iPhone.
Despite being revolutionary software, iPhone OS 1.0 shipped with only a few apps, as you can see here. There wasn't even the ability to create multiple pages of apps. The app that came with the iPhone in iPhone OS 1.0 were the Mail app, iPod, Calendar, Photos, Clock, SMS, Safari, Notes, YouTube, Calculator, Maps, Settings, Camera, Stocks, and Phone. There wasn't even an App Store or iTunes Store app in the original version of iPhone OS 1.0.
New software, the iPhone 2.0 platform. This is a giant step forward from where we've been.
The biggest news coming with iPhone OS 2.0 was the incredible App Store Apple built for their iOS devices. Released in July 11, 2008, the App Store gives users access to thousands of apps created by the third-party developers. Supported by iTunes and Apple's carefully crafted ecosystem, the App Store pushed the iPhones years ahead of the competition by providing limitless possibilities on the iPhone. Some of the features included contacts icon and the ability to search contacts. Then you had iWork documents like Pages, Numbers, and Keynote, as well as Microsoft Office documents like Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Also, now you have the ability to save images. The calculator got a new landscape scientific calculator mode. They added parental controls in the settings and added multiple languages. Other notable features brought to iPhone OS 2.0 were push email, multiple home screen pages, and the ability to take screen captures.
Let's talk about what's next, and that is iPhone OS 3.0.
In iPhone OS 3.0, one of the biggest iOS releases, released on June 17, 2009, iPhone OS 3.0 brought the ability to cut, copy, and paste. It also brought to the table Landscape View. A small change to the SMS icon now changed to Messages, but on the inside of the app you now got the ability to send and receive MMS messages like photos, contacts, audio, and location. Search was now introduced to multiple apps, and Spotlight was now integrated to search your entire phone for whatever you need. The ability to tether an iPhone to a computer was introduced, but had to be supported by your specific cellular carrier. Other notable features included a magnetic compass app, the ability to shoot video via the camera app.
iPhone OS 4, the most advanced mobile operating system in the world.
iPhone OS 4.0's first feature was a name change from iPhone OS to iOS, namely because the software is now available on more than just the iPhone, like the iPod Touch and the iPad. The first software feature, and the main feature, would be the ability to now multitask. Now if you have a music app playing, you can now close the app and still listen to the music while browsing the internet. Another major improvement in iOS 4.0 was the folder creation. Even though folders had an app limit, it was and is still nice to organize your apps in groups instead of having tons of home screen pages. The next addition to iOS 4 is iBooks, a great place to download and read your ebooks. Now with Steve Jobs, he usually had one more thing up his sleeve. This one more thing is FaceTime video calling, which was great, but in my opinion still hasn't really caught on because cellular carriers hadn't allowed it over cellular data.
Devices. Let's talk about the future of iOS, and that is iOS 5.
In 2011, Apple pulled out some major weapons to advance the iOS platform in the smartphone operating system wars. The addition of over 200 new features has made iOS 5 the biggest iOS update Apple has released. User complaints of the iOS notifications system were finally addressed by adding the new Notification Center. Now, Notification Center really comes in handy when you want to see your notifications anytime just by swiping down from your status bar. Also, your notifications don't pop up as a big blue box anymore. They just come in as a nice little banner up at the top. Another new feature is Newsstand. In my opinion, I haven't really used Newsstand a whole lot, and now you've got the ability to add subscriptions. Now another cool feature in iOS 5 is Twitter integration. Now right in your settings, you can add your Twitter account, multiple Twitter accounts at that, and it's baked into iOS 5 to where you can tweet from anywhere in iOS. One of my favorite features in iOS 5 is Reader. You can just tap this Reader section up here and your article is now cleaned up without ads, and it's very easy to read. Another cool feature that I use quite a bit in Safari is reading lists. You can be on your Mac or PC and add an article to your reading list, and you have the ability to open it up on your iPad or iPhone and read it somewhere else. Another neat feature in Safari on iOS 5 is tabbed browsing. Apple actually added a whole lot of new features on the iPhone lock screen, like this quick access camera button. Tap that and you go right into the camera app. Also, you can now use your volume up button as a shutter button, which is really cool. Another feature is grid lines. Pinch to zoom is another great feature. And also they added autofocus lock. Now you can tap and hold on an object in the camera and it'll quickly focus and lock on that object. In the actual photo app, you can now edit your photos right there, obviously in the Photos app. You can crop and rotate your image. You can remove red eye, which is pretty simple. Also, another cool little feature in the Photos app is to auto enhance just by tapping on that little wand down below. The Mail application also got some cool features. One is rich text formatting, which is really needed. Indentation control. Next is draggable addresses, which could come in handy if you want to drag people from 2 to CC and back up to 2 if you want to do that. Also, you can flag messages and you can mark as read or unread. Also in the Mail app, you can search your entire messages. And on the iPad, you've got the swipe from the side to access your inbox. And you can swipe it away just as easily. Another great innovative feature that Apple implemented is the split keyboard. Just drag up from the keyboard icon down there in the lower right and you get the split keyboard on the iPad. Apple finally made iOS 5 fully PC free. Now when you get a new phone, your home screen will look like this on startup, and now all your software updates are updated over the air as Delta updates. Another killer feature for Apple is iMessage. iMessage gives you the ability to send quote-unquote text messages to, say, your friend's iPod Touch or your iPad. You can text from any device you have, any iOS device you have, running iOS 5.0 or above, for free for that matter. iCloud is not necessarily an iOS 5 feature, but I had to bring it up because iCloud is amazing. iCloud stores your content and wirelessly pushes it to all your devices, and it is integrated with your apps, so everything happens automatically, as it says here, and it works really well. Say you add a contact on your iPhone and you don't want to sync it to your computer to add that contact to your iPad. With iCloud, it just automatically is in sync.
This year is no exception, so I'm very happy to announce iOS 6.
This current version of iOS 6 will be coming out in the fall of 2012, and it has new features for Siri with sports. You can ask sports scores. You can also ask for player information, such as Buster Posey's batting average here. You can also ask for current standings for certain sports, as well as reservations for restaurants. You can look up tons of restaurants, and from here you can also select a restaurant you want and book it. Now, to make a reservation, you just tap the Make a Reservation button here, and it opens up Open Table application, and from there you can set up your reservation. Siri now can also tell you what movies are playing at your favorite movie theater, and it brings up a cool little list here, and you can also head in to any of the movies and you can watch the trailer and read the Rotten Tomatoes reviews. Also, you can now search for certain actors and it'll bring up the movies those actors have played in. And now Siri will be integrated to the brand new iPad, not the iPad 2, but the new iPad. Like Twitter integration in iOS 5 and iOS 6, Facebook integration is now baked into iOS 6. Now, if you want to access Facebook, you've got it in your settings. You can add your Facebook account right into the settings and you can access Facebook from anywhere. Facebook also has Siri integration, and you can also tap in the notification center to post a status update. Now the phone app is actually getting some updates. It hasn't been updated in, say, 5 years, and now when you get a phone call, you can quickly slide up your lock screen to access the answer and decline, and you can also reply with an iMessage or a text message, and you can also set a reminder to call this person back later. Now in the settings application, you now have this new option called Do Not Disturb. You can toggle this option on. Say you don't want to receive any text message or any kind of alert at night. You can toggle this on. You can set a scheduled time. You can also allow calls from certain people or your favorites. And repeated phone calls from the same person within 3 minutes, this Do Not Disturb will deactivate and you can receive that phone call from that person. Being introduced a few years ago, FaceTime was only Wi-Fi only. Now, in iOS 6, you can actually take FaceTime calls over cellular data. The Safari app now has some cool features again. Is iCloud tabs. You can open tabs on any device. Say you can open up your iPhone tabs on your iPad. You can open up offline reading lists also, which is really nice. You don't have to have a cellular data network to access these. Also, in Safari, you can now upload photos right from the Safari application, which you couldn't do before. Now on the iPhone, in landscape mode, you get full screen mode. Also, PhotoStream got a cool sharing option. Now you can go into your PhotoStream, tap on the photos you want to share with, say, your family or friends, tap those photos, and then go ahead and tap on the contacts you want to share these photos with. That makes a really quick and easy way to share your photos to your family and friends. Now in the Mail application, you can go ahead and add a photo or video. And now a cool new application, which is, I'd say, the future of payments on the iOS devices, is Passbook. It is a simple way to get all your passes in one place. Say you've got boarding passes, store cards, and you can have them all in this one application, which makes it really quick and easy to store your content. Now, by far the biggest feature in iOS 6 is Apple's new Maps. Apple is now moving away from Google Maps, which I think is good, because Google is not going to let them do turn-by-turn navigation or anything with their maps. Apple now has traffic views on their new maps, which looks great. You also have incident reports, so you can see what is going on up ahead if it's construction or an accident. And now, turn-by-turn navigation. And Apple was not allowed to do this with Google Maps. And now you can quickly and easily use turn-by-turn navigations with this new mapping technology. You can also access your turn-by-turn navigations on your lock screen, so you don't always have to be in the application to access your maps. And there's also Siri integration. And a really cool thing that they've added in their new maps is called Flyover, which is pretty much 3D maps. You can see full views, full 3D views of these maps. And I'm going to let you take a good look at this right now.
All right, so here's our maps. They're all vector-based, so everything is really fast to zoom in and out. You can rotate, and we rotate all the labels. When you zoom in far enough, you'll see buildings start to appear. You can tap on a point of interest. Here's MoMA. Get the info card. Again, beautiful. Get reviews and ratings from Yelp. Lots of photos. We also do 3D. So I can zoom in and see just what MoMA looks like. I can zoom out a little bit here. Sort of move around the city. Rotate around. Oh, let me zoom back in there. Beautiful. I'll go back to 2D. We have satellite view, of course. Here's our satellite view. But what I really want to show you is flyover. So let's go ahead and choose the Transamerica Pyramid. Now, this is not a movie. This is being rendered in real time, so I can go ahead and rotate this myself. I can change the camera angle, fly through it myself. Just beautiful. Let me choose another place. How about the Sydney Opera House? And again, I can rotate this. Let's turn it so I can look back at the city. Right behind the Opera House. I'll zoom out a little bit, change the camera angle. And that is flyover.
Also in the Maps application, you've got different routes. You type in the address you want to go to, and you quickly have these different options. Just tap on your different routes. In this case, you can tap on this route, and then you get this basic street view, and you have a virtual car here, and it's got 3D views. It looks very nice, very smooth. And if there's a turn really close by, down below you see the next turn. And now if you want to see a bird's eye view of this, say you like the Google Maps view, you can tap on the button in the upper right hand corner and you can just pan around, and you can also tap resume in the upper right hand corner and you're back to the basic view. So that's it, guys. That is my video on the evolution of iOS. Let me know what you think about the video in the comment section below. Also in the description below, I'll have a link to my iOS 6 video. Let me know what you think about that as well. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button above and the like button down below if you enjoyed this video. Share this video with your family and friends if you enjoyed it. And thanks for watching. This is Paul. God bless.